So really, we're just trying to get Chaos Survivor, but if we can do House of Paper as well, which, I mean, should be relatively easy to do, we'll look out for other things that we can do, like discarding 3 books, or, not that, but that can be done at any time as well. There's another one I'm looking at, Destroy Your Eye and Open the third one, because that needs the Glass Eye and the Third Eye spell, but we'll see if I even get it. So, otherwise, all we're really trying to do here is, yes, I still have this custom character here, is to, yeah, complete this run. We'll set a random timeline and random item stats for fun times, but otherwise, I would usually hit quick play. This time we're not, so I'm just gonna get into, well, you know what? We'll actually get into Zectast. So as we get into Zectast, medical history, character exclusive, random item, Miku. Miku, a little short review. I will be going over things as we move on, but as Doom rises, Miku stats increase, which means Miku gets more powerful later on. Now, for better or worse, we're on Zectast, which changes the... What do I want to say? Which changes the way that the game is played with Miku specifically, even though it doesn't change that much, but it basically makes you so that you don't have to worry about Zectast, usually, but then also your stats are going to remain low, which is not going to be fun for combat, but we'll see. Takushi-san, 8 knowledge, second encounter, 8 dexterity, 8 strength, and maybe a second mystery check. But definitely need to remember my second encounter, and I will probably not hit 8 strength. So with that said, because I'm going to be looking out for Glass Eye, so I'll be enabling the Occult Shop more. For better or worse, I usually don't like the Occult Shop, but for the purposes of trying to get an achievement, if I get the chance, I might as well have it enabled. So we'll look for the mystery, put on the Tokyo outfit, so that we may be able to do another achievement. And surviving the run would be cool. Also, I still have custom mystery set on, but as we have Akamoto, Hell, Recluse, Festival, and Ward, we do have to worry about getting a hospital pass, but we also need to think about Recluse as well later on. So, yeah, we'll go through this run and see what happens. All things considered, though, we're still gonna fish for funds here. We're gonna proc Zectast. We also get to proc Miku Mayhem as well. As shown here, for those who are newer to this channel, or because this series also exists, to kind of review the base characters, as Mayhem says here, Raising Doom will increase your stats. You may also give this status effect to a custom character, and therefore they will also gain the effect of Mayhem. But considering we're also on medical history, I don't want to be in an encounter long, but Zectast will indirectly affect the length of time I'll spend in certain encounters, and thus I may proc a lot more injuries. But for now, a 92 speed meat cleaver, not like I have much else to use. I could have also checked the Occult Shop. That was something I could have done. But let's check. The hospital pass costs 3. You know what? I'm actually going to try and look for a better weapon in the Occult Shop. Unfortunately, we did not roll any weapons, so we're gonna keep trying until we find one. 5 damage ritual dagger at 77 speed. Don't mind if I do. I could alternatively have tried to sell the medical kit, but just in case I get like a cut artery or badly bleeding, among a few other injuries I don't like, we're gonna save the medical kit. I usually don't, but in this case I will. What are my max threat levels? I have Recluse and Ward. So, Mansion and Hospital max threat level. We set things to the hospital because we will be visiting Ward. Even though we've cut down the amount of the number of investigations by half, you still want to lower. You still get at least a Doom decrease overall for setting police patrols to a max threat level hospital if you have at least a Ward. Old gods forbid you don't have a hospital pass, but as I roll an 11 on Charisma, we'll see what happens. Again, because we're on Zectast, I have to specifically talk about Zectast things as related to Miku, but with that said, because Miku's Mayhem off-balances the 21% Doom per stat decrease, what ends up happening is sometimes if Zectast decides to grace you with a stat increase, those are pretty much permanent on top of whatever stat increases that you may take while leveling up, which is a very good thing. But as I said, because your stats are, if Zectast never procs any of its events as I proceed to get a cut armory, as I just said, then your combat usually ends up being a bit meh. In this case, I have to roll on a 70% chance, but I take 6 damage if I mess up. I could alternatively choose to arrest this encounter, but because I don't feel like taking a risk, I'm actually going to throw the empty bottle. Eating 6 stamina damage there will pretty much negate my empty bottle use. Though that being said, since we're on Akamanto, we're going to lose a lot more stamina. And a lot more stamina. Now that that event hit me in the face. But we should still be okay to do this. As long as I don't lose Bath, we should be okay. But we'll see. I won't even have to... Actually, I won't even need to use the thingy at all. Maybe I could have Desperate Preg. I'm going crazy. I'm going a bit crazy. I should not be up at the time I'm currently up, but hey. But meanwhile, as we get to a level up, for those who don't know, Miku has a few perks, looting and pickpocket among the worst among the community, because looting, while you get 1 fun for each defeated enemy, I'm personally probably the only person who likes this perk, because I like to grab cigarettes during a run. But other than that, generally speaking, if there's a reason to shop during a run, you might want to take looting, but usually things like Quick Thinking, because Quick Thinking has a few uses and events, and Outdoorsman to avoid to reason, usually does more for you than funds, which you may never use in a run, but that's looting in particular. I might even just try to reroll for Adrenaline. Yeah, I'm going to try to reroll once here. Otherwise, I mean, Pickpocket gets you different or allows you to proc items on very specific encounters, which, again, is considered a very bad perk. Otherwise, Doomed Already is Miku's good perk. Regain 1 reason for all failed event skill checks, so if you succeed, you probably get experience or heal, depending on the event. If you fail, then at least you heal reason, which will be very nice going into Recluse here, since we need the reason to survive. Now that being said, because we're taking Ward and we don't no longer have the handcuffs, I am going to be in a bit of a conundrum as I figure out... Did that actually heal stamina? Anywho. Unless I passed that check. But Ward, usually I would handcuff Ward, but among Akamanto or the boss of Ward, I usually handcuff Akamanto. Because you can't run from Akamanto. Ward you can run away from. So, there's that. But Recluse is a relatively low doom mystery. You just have to deal with the encounter at the end, which isn't great, but... I mean, the trade-off is that usually you spend less doom in Recluse. Especially when you know what you're doing. If you don't, sometimes you'll lose out, but oftentimes it's going to be a matter of, do you survive the boss of Recluse? Then sure. Miku at least gets around 4 knowledge by the time you take Recluse, unless for some reason you decide to take Recluse as your first mystery. I would heavily advise you to avoid doing so, but sometimes you might have a good reason. But otherwise, what you normally would happen is you take 2 attacks to the face, and then get out. Some other occasions you might actually know the ghost ritual, and so you only take 3 reason while getting a bunch of experience, but in this case, this is what I normally run into, is this occasion where I take 2 hits for 6 stamina, or 6 reason, sorry, and then I defeat the boss. We lost Bath, unfortunately, but that's how RNG goes. But we'll go into Ward now, if for no other reason than to avoid very painful encounters. I could also have chosen to get the painkillers right now, but I decided not to. So, high threat level means I don't heal anything there, but at least I don't lose... yeah. At least I don't lose any reason, which can actually end up killing me. But as we spend funds and get experience... Again, for most other characters, Zektas does provide some issues. Most of the base characters have an okay stat spread where dealing with Zektas isn't so bad, but injuries and curses can stack to make that bad. And Miku is the same as well, because Miku starts with relatively lower stats compared to the rest of the cast, but Miku has Mayhem to balance that out, so it does work for Miku. And there are 2 other characters that deal with Zektas in interesting ways as well, but again, for the most part, all the base characters, including ones you unlock, it's a lot better. So, this encounter is doing 4 stamina damage, and we're not even on our 4th mystery. If we were on our 4th or 5th mystery, this would be doing 5 stamina damage, which I do not want to take. So as we move on to our last 2 mysteries, which I completely forgot what they were. I don't even remember my second encounter, but our Doom is at 48% right now. That's pretty good. So long as we don't get roads closed, we should be relatively okay. I'll take Festival now, just in case I'm on Timeline B, And here's Pickpocket. Higher chance of finding items after combat, not really helpful. The items that you can pick up are normally not very good on Harbinger in general. They have their moments, but normally they're not good. So we'll take some more strength, rest a bunch, and move on with life. If we get a good ally like Ryoko, sure. Yoichi can be interesting for me, but otherwise you would decline him. There aren't very many occasions, because on Harbinger, we have to remember, for those, and for those who don't know, on Harbinger you don't start with any funds, where on easier difficulty you will start with at least some amount of funds, which means taking Festival first, or getting Yoichi first, really, allows you to double your funds immediately, which is very, very good. Unfortunately, on Harbinger you don't start with any funds, so unless you prepare funds somewhere, you don't really get a lot out of it. So while I would like to keep Hiroyuki, I think I would save a lot more HP if I ended up doing this, if I hit this attack, which I would really like to. Then we toss Hiroyuki at this encounter and hope it does at least 3 or 4 damage, because that allows me to attempt an out. Now, 85% into 85% isn't the best odds, but it would have been very nice, but taking -6 all there is not very good at all. We could actually end up dying for that. Otherwise, on the flip side, this is Doom, I believe, and we get a crowbar. Otherwise, we fail and Doom increases anyway, but it doesn't matter. As long as I don't lose stamina and die, I don't really mind. I think this is 3 stamina and hasty aid, so we'd rather run and risk the injury. Thankfully, we passed the check with a 2 roll, but could have gone really bad there. Also, keeping in mind we're still on medical history, or that this is more me reminding myself, but when we reach Hell, we should be able to get another achievement. There may be a third one I'm forgetting. Well, there's obviously some easy ones like clicking on this calendar, but I'll save that for later. And something dropped in real life, but future Jordan will take care of that, hopefully. Well, we'll see. I should probably make a note of that. No bath, so we'll go into Household Hell right now. And let me think for a moment, also making a timestamp really quickly, because I need to make a timestamp so future Jordan can do things. But we can visit the schoolyard now, and what we should be able to do is force to help, and that unlocks the achievement. Now, I'm not going to risk any more, because when you fail to intimidate someone, you end up increasing Doom, which I would really not like. This increases my charisma for whatever it's worth, but I think more importantly, we need to rest here. Because sitting on 2 stamina, going into a mansion would not be great. Now, I don't want to rest anymore, but we might as well play it safe with the Doom we have, and rest once more. And I think we might even want to run here. I don't remember my second encounter, so this could end up being really bad for me. At the same time, we still need the HP regardless, because we're probably not going to pass a lot of checks in the lighthouse, so we are hoping we survive. Adrenaline would have really helped out earlier. So Adrenaline is Miku's pretty much best perk. Faster combat actions is really, really powerful in Roll of Horror. So if for no other reason than on Harbinger, you get to brace a lot more comfortably while guaranteeing attack most of the time, which again is very, very powerful. The less HP you can take, the less damage you take in encounters, the more, turns out, the farther you can go in a mystery. Because less damage means you have to worry about resting less, or worrying about dying straight up if you're stuck in a location phase like I am right now. Now, some encounters it won't matter, because the encounter just does so much damage you can't brace through it, but otherwise you're usually having a better time. We get an empty bottle again, not like that's gonna help us. Is this mansion at max threat level? It is, isn't it? I just realized that, so I should have switched the police station to the mansion, but that's something I don't even get to prep strong here, but at least we get to do this and see what happens. I should throw the empty bottle here, but we really only want to throw it if it helps us break a threshold, which it probably will after this turn. Because I don't think we get anything better here, unless we try to go for this. But my odds there aren't great, so we are going to throw the empty bottle, and we're going to take our out. But we do want to get out of this mansion soon, because my Doom is steadily increasing. And by steadily, I mean it's increasing a whole bunch. This is an injury, I believe, which I can take. We need to get out of this mansion, though. And I finally have a chance at surviving. Now, I don't remember my second encounter at all. It might actually be Recluse. But we'll see when we get into the lighthouse. I shouldn't need to rest at all. And we don't have the 5th floor, but I did need to remember my second encounter check, which I always forget. Otherwise, we're taking 9 stamina damage. Sorry, I have made a mistake. So I do need to rest. 1, I need to rest twice, and 2, I need to immediately defeat Takushi-san. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else waiting for me in terms of healing. And I don't think I level up, so I do need to rest. Well, actually, what I can do, so I shouldn't have rested there, but what I can do is trade reason for stamina during Takushi-san. Either way, though, we're trying to survive, but since Takushi-san is first, we may want to brace once here. And actually, we do. So, we get a guaranteed strong here. And I think we throw everything we have and we should be home free. I think. Now, unfortunately, I don't get to do much else. In fact, I really don't get to do much else. So this is 12 damage. If I throw the Ritual Dagger, I should do enough. Especially if I send Student C out. Because what I'm trying to do is also trade off some reason for stamina. As I said earlier. And this should be okay. Now, let me throw the Ritual Dagger and be sure. But assuming we get our second encounter check right, we should be perfectly fine. But we'll see. Because I don't remember at all. I want to say it was the roommate. We did fight Akamanto first. It was not us, and I think the Inspiring Model was way later. Why do I feel like the Inspiring Model... Let me just actually logic this out really quickly. I did Akamanto first, then I did Recluse, and then I did Ward. Did I fight the Inspiring Model during Ward? Shoot, I don't remember. For some reason, though, I want to say I fought the Inspiring Model during Akamanto, which is my first mystery. This is really not good, because I don't remember at all. It's possible... No, it's not possible, because then Roommate would be my second encounter. No, I'm tripping myself up. Anywho, you at home probably know the answer. I have completely forgotten. It's definitely not you, question mark, because that was at Ward, which was my third mystery. I must have fought something before Akamanto. I feel like I did, because if I fought the Inspiring Model does stamina damage, I think I would have remembered taking that much stamina damage, right? So I want to say it was the Roommate. No, it was not. It was Akamanto. I'll see you next time!